quite nicely laid out, each one of the different pose. Kind of a unique way to present my moderators and my talent. Now let's go back a little bit further. Wow, that's the webcam. What's going on? Studio 1? There we go, webcam 1, webcam 2. Okay. And now let's check out Newsbeat. By the way, do you know that the Britons and the French have to now serve with each other? That's not an easy thing to do.
BBC Radio 1.
If you're British or French, please rise.
Thank you.
The two countries are going to share their military might, or as the French would say,
pouvoir militaire. This is Newsbeat.
Lovely.
In the army town of Colchester, get a reaction to the deal.
My husband's working in Afghanistan. I think it's a good thing if it's going to save costs, as long as it doesn't affect the job cuts.
BBC Radio 1.
Also tonight, convicted criminals getting the vote. Find out why the government could be forced into allowing it. And David's live at White Hart Lane with your sports.
European champions are in town as Tottenham take on Inter Milan in the Champions League. So could this man score again, just like he did 2 weeks ago?
Lovely. Cheers, David. Speak to you in just a bit, mate.
European champions, we'll go full of confidence and trying to prove to the win, really.
And it's Judgment Day for the most part.
Okay, drone next. There's nothing on the top of that one dance breaker.
This is Newsbeat. US reporter Seema Katecha in Atlanta, Georgia, as millions of Americans vote in the midterm election.
BBC Radio 1.
Newsbeat.
Struggling to afford a world-class military on your own? Just team up with your next-door neighbour. It's what the UK and France are doing, sharing everything from kits to soldiers, even developing nuclear technology together. The Prime Minister and French President have signed an historic treaty allowing the two countries to come much closer together. Our politics reporter Robin Brett has more.
This is from France.
Wonderful. Okay.
Okay, now a producer looking at, first of all, as a consumer, we all know, isn't it kind of impressive that we go to the website and we get a big, nice screen and a live experience? Number two, as a producer, we can hear all the stingers and bumpers and music beds and all the stuff that we think we're supposed to be doing. As a producer, if my boss comes to me with this, the first thing I tell him is, listen to the way they are writing. Listen to the storyline. Are you kidding me? Along as an opener inside my newscast, but then you can also respond and say, this is the BBC, the people who invented serious journalism. If they can do this, if they can reinvent the English language, so it becomes a branded news product, has a lot less to do with the production elements and the stingers and the sweepers and the stagers and the sounders, and it does with the layout of this unbelievable newscast. And yes, they have the resources and tone technicians sitting there running the show, but honestly, that's not what makes this thing click. Now, we did a little test. Just by accident, in Zagreb, we spoke in front of 30 people, a news production agency, and we used this newscast without the video, and they were shocked. And I went up to Vienna, and a guy walks up to me and says, by the way, I was watching Newsbeat online today, this English-French story. I couldn't get off my Fit Life Cycle. I had to listen to the end of it. Unbelievably well said. And I get an email from another guy posting me this site, meaning that 3 separate people in 3 separate countries posted me this one newscast because they noticed it. It was different. I think that's kind of phenomenon. And it's an indication, I think, of what our business is about. This is not just a well-packaged newscast. This is a complete brand story. Now, original technology. Let's take a look at original technology. Sometimes the originally simple results or dumb ideas started out not even as that much. What are we talking about? Remember the short message service? The primary channel was what your phone was, and then the secondary, tertiary space, they asked themselves what to do with that extra spectrum. Well, the idea was that trucks would come onto construction sites just in time with cement. Doctors would order medicine, delivery companies would know where their vendors and delivery people were. Logistics. That's what they thought short message service would be, technologically. However, They never got past thinking it's a technical byproduct with a side channel information, because they didn't think of it as a written dialogue where Bubsy is telling Susie, keep your fingers off of my boyfriend, he's mine. They never figured out what a real cultural lifestyle was. Now, the mobile phone, for calls, for texting, for photos, but as we saw today with the Absolute radio example, and if you don't know what the Absolute application looks like, James has it on his iPhone. He'll be happy to show you the Absolute wake-up call, where the Absolute morning man is on your radio on your phone in the morning, waking you up, and as soon as he's done waking you up, it turns on the radio, and it's Absolute radio. Meaning that this guy and his doggy are going to have their first contact with you right away in the morning. That was not thought of when they came up with the mobile phone idea. It was a sided byproduct. Again, people's lifestyle being more important than the technology. Remember the phone rings. We all knew that when the first phone ringtones came out, and then came along spherics, then came along klingeltone identities, little funny little voicers, and then came along music. That became cultural signage. People started switching their ringtones almost by the week. Actually, more often, some people changed their underwear. It was never about technology. It was always about lifestyle and a dialogue. Radio's best moments, where are they? Stuck inside some old radio? Stuck inside your clock? Stuck inside the content? Maybe a little moment in the talk? Maybe a little moment between songs? Where are your best transitional moments? Are they stuck inside your break? Even Chris Evans doesn't have a great break all the time, but what are his best moments stuck way, way in back? No wonder he's depressed. Or it's stuck inside your promo. Maybe the really cool thing that you really wanted to say is way down inside in the text, and the listener never gets to it. Are we stuck? If we are, we got to get elevated. We have to have visions and possibilities. We have to see the new medias as our best friends, get up in front of the other radios who may not be doing it, and remember, putting the text, the facts, and the infos out there is telling our story. No pics, no clicks. So we have to create emotion by doing that. We tell our story by creating emotion in a number of ways, or we're just another analog radio. Our best moments are everywhere in our clock, in our breaks, talks, jingles, IDs, sleeps, and promos. And if we rewrite that and capture that attitude with nice, loose, current lexicon, that will last. Especially if we put it last instead of the end tag. The last thing you hear is the first thing you remember. What does that say for the standard 008? It's an email address and telephone number end tag. Sorry, Albert. Never heard anybody respond to that one. Your watermarks are all your clocks, across all your slots, across all spots. We call that time spent listening. That's what we tell the agencies. How about time spent viewing? Time spent viewing. I like to call those little moments vignettes, little best highlight moments. TSV, on air and online all the time. Moment mailers. I had a great moment this morning in the morning show. Is that only going to be a highlight at 8:45, 59, and 15 seconds as the recapper in front of the 9 o'clock news? Same procedure as every day. Or am I going to send it in a mailer at 11:45 to the client or the direct agency and say, Mike, it's your birthday. Happy birthday. Enjoy your birthday lunch. By the way, when you come back, click on this attachment. We got something for you. Or today, hey, Soccer, we moved a mountain of trash. Imagine we could do that for you. If we can move trash, we can do anything. So the communication of our best moments away from what's just on air, moved online into an email attachment. Very few stations have the guts, or the balls, or the attitude to actually take their best moments and say, I'm so proud of it, I would Facebook the fucker. And that's my lead line when I do air checks. I say, if you can't Facebook the fucker, why would you do it? And they all go, you're right. That's a break I shouldn't have done. It was blah blah. Radio blah blah means you can't Facebook it.
Dragi oglašivači, ja sam Mija Kovačić I ja sam voditeljica jutarnjeg šova, dakle doručak s Mijom. što je logično, ja sam MikeVortrag2. I sad, ja sam tu da vam predstavim jednu novu igru koja će ići svaki dan na Totalnom FM-u, a zove se Svaki dan rođendan. Happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday, Mr. President, happy birthday to you. I jesam li spomenula tortu za rođendan? Veliku tortu, ko ne voli tortu za rođendan? I zapamtite, kada čujete ovaj znak, tu može biti ime vaše.
That video courtesy of Goran Korjak from Antenna Zagreb, that's Mila, the brand new morning man. I guess they can do morning shows. Brand new morning man at Totalni FM, about to go launch. That's the birthday action sent directly to the client. You know what, that'll get my attention. But if I don't have the guts to talk directly to the client, advertiser, opinion leader, or my website, to my listeners, everybody has a birthday. There's only 365 of them out there. So grab that and attach it to the person whose birthday is on my playlist. Somebody having a birthday? So do you. Boom, on my website. At all conferences that we go to, and we go to a lot, at all Messen conferences, all agencies, all brand channels are pretty much saying the same thing, whether it's Red Bull TV, SAP TV, BMW TV, they're all basically saying things. And I will quote to you the things I've heard in the last 3 months. I quote, stop doing campaigns, start doing dialogue. Relevance, Anziehungskraft, magnetism, originality, emotions, relationships, a reason to go back. Community Bildung, community education, is community building. Vertrauenskapital, trust, relevance versus awareness. Serve, not sell. Find common unity as community. Relationships rule, conversation provoked by ideas. Stop advertising, start behaving. Brand building, building bigger reasons to go out and do something. I think Google TV said that recently in Munich. What is your belief? What do you believe in? Some agency in Munich actually said, what would you fight for? What would you die for? My God, in Germany? If you're talking about your brand, you're always telling a story. Create response, curate, take care of that culture. Innovate attention, move hearts. Ah, that's wonderful. Gain favor for your product. What do you want to give and who do you want to give it to? What experience do you want to have for yourself? And if you want it for yourself, that's what you will give to them. The audio arts. My better is better than your better. That's the good old advertising competition. You're not what you think you are. You are, in fact, an internet company that happens to do radio and or TV really well. Said by the Real Group AG CEO. They're out of Real in Bayern. Some of you people who are from here might know they produce polyurethane plastic tubings for pipes. Said to the general manager of Oberfranken TV, which is the regional RTL window, said to him, you are not a TV company, you're an internet company who does TV really well. This is a plastics polyurethane production company, Thinking Media. Oh, by the way, he was in their studio producing a video and a podcast for 16,800 employees worldwide with a live chat following. The discussion was water capturement systems for the drought-stricken people of India. They're in our business. So is BMW. You can go to their website and check out this. Young target demographics will only recommend brands that they feel are relevant and about which they can start a dialogue. So this is about basically splashing a car with paint. Imagine the possibilities if you're a radio station. Part of their driver training program. The most creative paint splash gets you prizes. There's some production elements in there. Obviously some lexicon in there. It's a nice idea.